Welcome back to Motivation and Self-Improvement Books, a Readology review podcast where we dive deep into transformative books that can genuinely change your perspective. I'm your host, Emma, and joining me today, as always, is our resident book expert, Ethan, who's brimming with insights from some truly remarkable reads. Ethan, it's great to have you back.
Thanks, Emma. It's always a pleasure. I'm excited to chat about today's book, Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. It's not your typical finance book, and it offers something incredibly powerful.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Not a typical finance book certainly piques my interest, especially for a channel focused on self-improvement. What makes The Psychology of Money so unique, Ethan?
It's unique because it won't give you complex formulas or stock charts. It offers no jargon. Instead, it delves into human behavior, how we think, act, and make choices every day when it comes to money. It's about building a healthy, lasting relationship with money and understanding why the smartest financial choice on paper isn't always the smartest one in real life. It explains that managing money well isn't about knowing everything, but about mastering a few key habits.
That makes so much sense. We often treat money as purely mathematical, but it's deeply personal. Can you give us an example of how our behavior, rather than pure logic, shapes our financial decisions?
Absolutely. Housel brilliantly starts by saying, no one's crazy when it comes to money. People make decisions based on their feelings, experiences, and the world they grew up in, not just facts. For instance, someone who grew up during a recession, watching their parents struggle, might learn to protect every dollar. In contrast, someone who experienced an economic boom might be inclined to take bold risks. What seems smart to one might seem insane to another because they've lived through completely different realities. It's why some low-income people buy lottery tickets. For them, it's about buying hope, a dream for a different life, even if it seems foolish from the outside. Our financial choices are driven by the time and place we grew up in and how that made us feel.
That's such an empathetic way to look at it, understanding the backstory behind financial choices. It makes me wonder about the role of external factors. How much do things outside our control influence our financial lives?
That brings us to another crucial insight, the role of luck and risk. These are invisible forces that can push you higher or knock you down, often having more impact than intelligence or effort. Housel uses the example of Bill Gates. He had access to a high school computer in the 1960s, a rare opportunity that significantly contributed to Microsoft's existence. On the flip side, his equally brilliant friend, Kent Evans, who dreamed of starting a company with Gates, tragically died in a mountain climbing accident. The same drive, same dreams, same potential, but very different outcomes due to luck and risk. We don't like to admit this because luck feels unfair and risk feels scary, but ignoring them makes us prone to false confidence and unfair judgment.
That really puts success and failure into perspective. It's not just about what you did right or wrong, but sometimes just luck or risk having its turn. Speaking of relentless chasing, what does Housel say about the concept of enough and why it's so hard to achieve?
Never enough is a powerful chapter. It explores the dangerous trap of always chasing more. The problem is, as soon as you get more money or status, you start comparing yourself to people who have even more, and that comparison never ends. Rajat Gupta, who rose from poverty to become a CEO with over $100 million, still felt small among billionaires and risked everything for more, ending up in prison. Similarly, Bernie Madoff, already a successful businessman, created a massive Ponzi scheme because what he had wasn't enough. Housel puts it simply, to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need is foolish. The constant social comparison tricks you into thinking you're missing something, even when you're not. Knowing when you have enough is one of the most powerful money skills, helping you avoid risks that could ruin everything you've built.
That's a tough lesson, but incredibly important in our comparison-driven world. It sounds like contentment is key.
It truly is.
Before we dive into more of Housel's wisdom, we want to share a quick message. To support the author and publisher, we encourage you to purchase and read the full physical version of the book. We have attached the link to buy the book in the video description. You can refer to it. And if you'd like us to create a brief summary or review of a particular book, don't hesitate to leave a comment under this video. If we've read it, we'll definitely fulfill your request. All right, Ethan, let's get back to it. You mentioned mastering a few key habits. What's one of the most powerful forces Housel identifies for building wealth?
The most powerful force is something he calls confounding compounding. It's not a big paycheck or a genius strategy, but simply letting your money grow over a long time. Warren Buffett, for instance, made over 90% of his wealth after his 65th birthday. This isn't because he found a secret trick late in life, but because compounding had finally kicked into higher gear after decades of consistent investment. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but picks up momentum and grows exponentially over time. The key is consistency and patience, not perfection or fancy strategies.
So it's about the duration of the game, not just the intensity. That's a great metaphor. But once you've built that wealth, how do you keep it? Is getting rich the same as staying rich?
Housel clearly distinguishes between getting rich and staying rich. They are two completely different skills. Getting rich takes ambition, risks, and big swings. But staying rich is about defense, survival, and caution. It's not about the biggest return anymore, but about not losing what you've already earned. He points to traits like frugality, humility, and a healthy dose of fear as essential for staying wealthy. You can build a fortune in years and lose it in minutes if you don't shift from building to protecting. The real lesson is to avoid ruin at all costs.
That's a powerful warning. It highlights the importance of protecting what you have. Moving on to how money impacts our daily lives, what does Housel say is the most valuable thing money can actually buy?
This is one of my favorite lessons. The most valuable thing money can buy isn't stuff, but control. Specifically, control over your time. It's the power to decide, I'll do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, for as long as I want. True wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in the time you control. It's why people dream of retiring early or working remotely. It's about owning more of their day. This simple feeling of control is what most people are actually chasing, even if they don't realize it.
That resonates deeply. Freedom and autonomy are priceless. But in a world that constantly flashes luxury and status, how do we distinguish between true wealth and just looking rich?
That's where the concept of wealth is what you don't see comes in. Most people confuse wealth with richness. Richness is about spending money to show how much you have, like a fancy car or an expensive watch, but that money is gone. Real wealth, on the other hand, is what you keep, the money sitting quietly in savings or growing in investments. It's the financial freedom you don't post on Instagram, the peace of mind you don't wear on your wrist. Spending money to impress others is the fastest way to have less of it. True financial strength, security, and freedom are often completely invisible, working silently behind the scenes.
That's a fundamental shift in perspective. It's about building a solid foundation rather than putting on a show. So, Ethan, bringing all these insights together, what's the overarching message the psychology of money aims to convey to its readers?
The core message is that money is messy, personal, and emotional. There's no single right way to manage money because everyone has different dreams, goals, and fears. Housel emphasizes that the best financial plan is the one you can stick to and that helps you sleep at night. It's okay to be reasonable even if it's not perfectly rational or mathematically optimal, as long as it aligns with your personal peace of mind and allows for consistency over time. Ultimately, it's about accepting that no one's crazy. We're all just trying to do our best with what we've got, where we are, and who we are. It's about building a financial life that supports the future version of you, even if you haven't met them yet.
That's such a grounding and liberating message. It takes the pressure off striving for an unattainable perfect and puts the focus on what truly works for your individual life. Ethan, thank you so much for breaking down these powerful ideas from the psychology of money. It's clear this book offers incredibly valuable insights for anyone looking to improve their financial well-being and, by extension, their overall quality of life.
My pleasure, Emma. It truly is a game changer because it reframes how we think about wealth, success, risk, and happiness, all through the lens of human behavior.
And that's all the time we have for today on motivation and self-improvement books. A huge thank you to Ethan for sharing his expertise, and thank you all for tuning in. Remember to check the video description for the link to purchase The Psychology of Money and to leave your book requests in the comments. We'll be back soon with another insightful review.